All right, this is the first YouTube video. All right, so hey, I'm Alex. Welcome to Bench Press and Bourbon. I've had an Instagram channel for quite a while now, but it's not the best platform for long form content. So I'm moving over to YouTube. Hopefully, it's a little better. I've also had some issues with my Instagram, so I haven't been able to post things in like forever. So finally, we're here. And we're gonna do the first video and then see how it goes and upload to YouTube and hopefully there'll be more. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, I gotta change my whole approach here because like with YouTube, with Instagram, it's interesting. Because Instagram, obviously you can't do too long videos. People get bored, You have a 5-minute long video, that's like the max. I had some that were like 10, 11, 13 minutes. I had one that was like 17 minutes long, but I never uploaded it. And people are being like, okay, man, you gotta cut it down. There's no way I'm going on Instagram for 17 minutes just to watch one video. So, anyways, let's see if I can adapt to YouTube here. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it'll be a recurring thing. We'll come back to this. So let's get into it. I know the channel is called Bench Press and Bourbon, but we're gonna start this off with a Mezcal review. All right. Let me give a knife over. So, as some people know, if you're watching this, I'm a student at Northeastern, but I'm currently in Monterrey, Mexico. Pardon my terrible accent. I'm currently in Monterrey, Mexico, and I've been here for like 6 months now. So I've tried to get into mezcals for a little bit. Doing the Mezcal train, baby. So we're just gonna continue with that, see how it goes. Turns out, okay, so before this, I tried a couple mezcals. You can maybe see them on my Instagram if they're ever uploaded. Just from like the supermarket, I went to the supermarket and I bought some mezcals and like they were good, but they weren't like amazing. They're just like, like the Jim Beam equivalent of mezcal, or like Jack Daniels or whatnot. And it turns out that there's this like tequila store literally 2 blocks away from my apartment. I never knew about. And so I'm driving by today and I'm like, that's a tequila store? So I'm like, all right, fuck it, why not pull over? And I go in and the woman is just like super nice. I'm looking for a mezcal, and she's like, all right, I got you. And we just kind of bonded for like, I don't know, like 20 minutes. I tried like 3 different mezcals, and I tried this one, and it was really good. So I was like, why not? Let's buy it, put it on the show. It's Mi Vanidad is the name. It's a joven from Oaxaca. I don't know how to pronounce it. Oaxaca. That's what I would say, but whatever. And it's artisanal. I think the Espadin is, I guess, the company. Yeah, Mi Vanidad, I'm guessing is the I want to say model, but no, not the brand. I don't know. It's the one that they make, whatever. So that's the name. You can Google it. I was doing a lot of research on mezcal. Super interesting. So, brief history time. Oh, that does smell good. All right. For those of you who are new to mezcal, brief history time. The whole point is it's similar to tequila. It's made from agave, but it's a lot looser than tequila. Tequila is very specific. It has to be made in the region of tequila. It has to be yada yada yada. Like I don't know the rules specifically, but there's a bunch of rules for tequila. It has to, you have to pass before you can be a tequila. Mezcal is a little looser. There's I think 30 different types of agave that you can use. Well, tequila is I think one type of agave that you can use. So the agave plant, there's obviously different species and types of it. So mezcal, you can use kind of all these different types. And then there's different regions. There's 7 or 8 different regions in Mexico you can make it in. Obviously this one's from Oaxaca. And then the first, I was doing some research today and the history is kind of interesting. So basically, we're going to toss it all the way back to the Aztecs, okay? And so the Aztecs have this history of this drink called, what's it called? Pulque. So pulque is agave, sort of fermented, but it's not alcoholic. I've tried it. It's weird. It's super weird. It's just like super thick, and just kind of acidic a little bit, and super. I don't know. It tastes like you're drinking an agave plant, kind of. It's like, I don't know. It's just really strong flavor. It's hard to describe. It's pulque, right? And so the Aztecs like started fermenting pulque, and they like, I don't know, super religious. It was like, the history is like, oh, like the lightning struck an agave plant one day and it fermented into pulque, and like, oh, it's from the gods, you know, like Aztec Zeus threw that lightning bolt for a reason, right? And then, so they're drinking this for like forever. It's like all the kings and queens, you know, at their fancy balls, at their pulque and stuff like that, and then Cortez and all the Spaniards came, and they're like, oh, like, we need to try it, obviously. So they start drinking pulque, they're like, oh, this is pretty good. But then they're like, you know what? There's no alcohol in it, you know? Like, we need something more. So then they kind of went to the Aztec buddies and they're like, hey, you want to like, you know, spice it up a little bit? And the Aztecs were like, well, why not, you know? So then they fermented it in a different way, and they made basically like the first iteration of Mezcal, which is like agave, and then you gotta cut the agave plant, you gotta roast it a little bit, ferment it, distill it, and then basically you have it. There's also a couple different types of mezcals. Joven is like what I have, which is blanco, it's just clear. Basically there's no aging, it's straight from this distillation to the bottle. And then you got reposado, which is like a tiny bit of aging, like a few months. And then there's viejo, I think there's viejo. There's like older, you know, but like traditionally there's no aging, so it's just clear like this. And then, yeah, oh, and I was doing some research too, like, so the ones I was buying at the supermarket, just mass produced, it's like, you know, they got the industrial machines, industrial yada yada, and they're able to pump out like thousands of bottles a day or whatever, hundreds of bottles a day or however many, right? But this stuff is artisanal, and it's literally like, we see videos of it, it's literally just poured by hand, like this bottle is probably just poured by hand, you know? They slap the label on it, all the, you know, everything's done by hand. Like from cutting the agave to roasting it, like to crushing it, you literally have this massive stone wheel, and it's pulled by a mule, you know? So like super handmade, so super exciting, lots of good flavors, so we'll get into it, and hopefully you enjoy it. It's a little smoky, and it also smells, this one smells like pulque. It's like, I mean, very agave, kind of citrusy. It smells like lemons a little bit. No earth. Maybe like cherries, a little bit of cherries, like dark fruits. Definitely not peaty, but a little smoky. All right, let's get the taste. See how it is. It's about the same. Maybe a little orange notes on the taste, but definitely getting the lemon, agave, obviously. Yeah, I think the cherry on this is a little bit more heavy on the taste than it was on the smell. So, yeah, pretty interesting. Oh, that's really good. Oh my gosh, you gotta see my other videos for the other mezcals I tried. They're garbage, man. It was like hard to drink, honestly. So this is very delightful. So, yeah, that's the first review. Hope you liked it. If you didn't, oh well, it's YouTube. Go find another video. But I'll be posting more reviews of alcohols and also some workout content. I'm gonna start stretching a lot. I want to be nice and limber, nice and flexible. So we're gonna start doing some stretching. I'll show you all about that, and should be fun. Should be exciting. I'll be here in Mexico for a little bit longer, so hopefully there's more videos, and then I'll be moving back to the U.S. and so you'll see more whiskey videos. But yeah, this next month or so, it's just gonna be Mezcal basically. So hope you enjoy, baby. See ya.